Well, then I'll introduce you guys to Gabby. Can you see Gabby okay? She's over here. And I guess you're talking to this one, so.
This one. Got it. This is an interesting. Hi, everybody. I am Gabriella Deyi, Miss Wisconsin USA 2020. I will actually be going to Miss USA in just about a little over 5 weeks from now. And I was introduced to Stacy, and we talked a lot about CoolSculpting and what it could possibly do for some of my problem areas that I struggle with. I'm a pretty active person already, so I work out twice a day, I eat pretty clean, but I do still have trouble areas that I want to improve upon, even with all of that activity. And that area for me is my flanks. I know a lot of women struggle with that area no matter how much we work out and no matter how clean we eat. It just seems to be one of those areas that hangs on to us with no mercy. So CoolSculpting seemed to be the best option for me, given that I'm at a healthy weight and it's something that we want to sculpt, not take away, but sculpt. So I'm really excited to do that with Stacy today and see the results in a couple weeks and show off my new curves on the Miss USA stage.
Yeah. So what I normally do is when someone comes into the office, we normally do an initial assessment. So we would come in, meet with me, we'd take a look at the areas that you wanted to work on, and then we would put together a little treatment plan. So Gabby and I have already done that. So we know what we're going to do. So in a couple minutes, I'll mark her. But normally, there'd be a little bit of conversation. We go through your health history. It is a medical procedure. So obviously we want to make sure that there are no contraindications or any reasons why you shouldn't have it done. And I would also like to make sure that you are a good candidate. You need a little bit of volume there, and just make sure that everything is right. So after we would have that conversation, then we would go ahead and do an assessment, and I would mark you on the areas and kind of show you exactly where we'd be treating, so you know 100% ahead of time what was going to happen. So I'm just going to mark Gabby right now, and then what we'll do is we're going to get her prepped for the treatment, and I'll get her on the bed and we'll get her CoolSculpting. So in a little while you'll hear the noise from the machine. And while we're doing that, then we have another presenter here going over the science for you guys. So I'm just going to mark her up really quick and we'll get going. If you do have any questions, please just type them in the box and we can answer them for you. Okay, so yeah, if you want to come on over here. All right, and then Miss Gabby, I will have you. I kind of believe that marker part of the it's going to be right following that line of tissue below that fold.
Okay.
And it actually does look like the tissue line's a little higher on the right side than the left side.
Yes.
So that's why we'll get it that way. If you want to spin around and take a peek in the mirror, okay, see, make sure that that's what you signed up to do. Does that look right to you?
That does look right to me.
We don't have to be married to our markings. We can always change the plan.
Okay, I think that looks like the areas that
Okay. All right.
I want to get rid of. So yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Well, then let's get you on the bed. And we're just going to get you all snugly. And usually I just have you lay on your side.
Okay.
So either direction, really.
Oh, so not flat on my stomach, but
We're going to do one side at a time.
Okay.
So we can do it how are you more comfortable? Are you more comfortable on your
I'm more comfortable on my stomach.
Are you really? Okay. Well, then we can totally do that. So then I'm going to lower this down a little bit.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, and if you want to scooch up a little bit, And then I don't know, it is a cold procedure, so I do have a table warmer in the bed.
I would love that.
Okay, so good. And we can be all snugly underneath the covers here.
From Wisconsin, but don't be cold.
Right? Okay. Now just do a quick little measure, make sure that this is the right fit. Looks perfect. Yay. Okay, so then that I'm gonna turn this so you guys can see a little bit more. But this is the applicator. So it has two bars in it that check the temperature of the tissue. So that makes sure that if the temperature is too cold that it'll harm you, it'll shut itself down. Or if it's not cold enough to be therapeutic and do what we want it to do, it'll shut itself down. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is use what's called a skin prep wipe. And that just takes off any lotions or potions from Gabby's shower this morning and puts a protective chemical into her skin to help with the treatment. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for watching the CoolSculpting getting set up. And I just have a little bit of science to go through with you. And it's to tell you how CoolSculpting works and why it works and why it's a long-term great approach to stubborn fat. So basically what we're doing with CoolSculpting is we're applying really cold to the tissues in the treated areas. So what's happening is with the cold temperatures, some of those fat cells are actually getting frozen. And what happens is the body recognizes them as damaged and proceeds to flush them out through the lymphatic system. So believe it or not, we actually create the layer of fat cells that we have during adolescence. We typically don't make new fat cells over the course of our lifetime. They're just like balloons and they get bigger and smaller as we gain and lose weight. So with CoolSculpting, we're actually going in and popping some of those balloons. So you actually can store less fat in the treated areas. So I always like to make the analogy, it's very similar to tearing down part of your bedroom closet. You just physically can't put as many clothes there anymore going forward. So that's kind of how that works. If you think about the CoolSculpting process, we're actually purposely damaging some of the fat cells in the treated area. So if you imagine hitting your thumb with a hammer, your thumb would get big and red and swollen. All that's happening underneath the skin, you just can't see it. So sometimes people actually feel a little bit puffier after CoolSculpting. But as that inflammation, just like your thumb, heals up, the fat cells get flushed away and you start to notice those nice results. Typically, people start to see things around 4 to 6 weeks, but definitely by the 2 to 3 month mark, you're going to have your best and final results. So, fat is evenly distributed between the cells. So what's going to happen is before your procedure, you have a certain number of fat cells in the treated area. And after you treat it, this fat is still evenly treated around the body. So basically what we're saying is that with CoolSculpting, you're not going to get big, huge arms or something else that's going to get really large. You're just going to gain and lose weight evenly and distribute. We're basically reducing the number of fat cells in the trouble area. So how long does it last? Like we said, the best results are really seen 2 to 3 months after the treatment, but typically people start to notice results sooner once that inflammation is gone, just like my thumb. And once the treated fat cells are gone, they're gone for good, which is really awesome. So what we're finding is that people, even with the weight gain, and I can kind of share with you my story in a little bit, but you're not getting as much weight back in those trouble spots. So it's important to note, really pay attention, that this is not a weight loss program, so you're not going to actually lose pounds, but you lose inches. But people are definitely going to think you lost weight, which is really nice. So let's look at some results from our clinic. So this woman obviously has an adorable little shape, but what we did, she just had a little volume in that lower abdomen that she didn't do. So what we did is we went in and we CoolSculpted that lower abdomen, and we did her sides too as well. You can see her shape's just a little improved in that next picture, and she was just over the moon happy. And this, I promise you me, this is me. So obviously I'm a tummy girl, and I had a lot of volume in that lower abdomen. And to really amplify and accentuate my tummy, I had a C-section. So that scar really lifted that bottom tissue up too. So that first picture on the upper left was before we did any kind of CoolSculpting. Back in those days, before I had the CoolSculpting done, anytime I would gain a pound or half a pound or even thought about gaining a pound, my tummy would get extraordinarily rounder, which was problematic because I had to wear a larger size pant than my butt needed to support my big round tummy. And then obviously there was a lot of styles of dresses and different things that I didn't like to wear because I looked like a beach ball. So what we did is we did some large applicators around the front, kind of in a diamond pattern around my belly button. And that next picture to the right is that treatment after that one. Now sometimes people have a little extra goodness, and it's just a good idea to give them a double treatment. So we went ahead and we retreated the same treatment that we did the first time, and that's me in the red shirt, going straight down. And as you can see, there's a big circle along the bottom. So I was really pretty pleased with everything except for that lower area on the bottom. So we went ahead and we retreated that spot, and the final result is me in that blue shirt to the right. So this is from the side, and you can see all of that is from CoolSculpting. I would love to say that I was exercising and eating right and not drinking wine, but that would be a lie. It was all CoolSculpting. And the other thing I don't know if you can see is on my back, we did my sides as well to take down some volume in the back to give me a little bit more of an hourglass shape. So what I found is, even though I have sadly gained the COVID-19 like everybody else has, or a lot of people have, I still really like my shape a lot better than I did before CoolSculpting. I just would have been really round and I would have really blown up. So even though I've gained about 20 pounds, I feel like my shape looks a lot better. This is one of our clients. She also did a weight loss program with us, so she did lose about 15 pounds. But what we did was we did 2 cycles on her lower abdomen, and then we went down her back. So we went down each side of her back, behind her bra line, along her waist, and right below her waist. And she was really, really thrilled with her treatment, and she looks amazing. The little smudge on the front, don't worry, she doesn't have a big bruise. We just wanted to cover up her tattoo for privacy purposes for the pictures. Chins are a wonderful area to treat. We love doing chins. So what we did with her is we did 2 cycles underneath her jawline, one to the right and one to the left. And she's very, very pleased with her outcome. Chins are such a fun area to treat because you can't really cover up a chin. I guess with the mask you can, but hopefully that's a temporary thing. But yeah, she's very excited about her results. So we do have a financing option for CoolSculpting here in the office. We work with a company called Green Sky Lending. They're very easy to work with, very accommodating. They have a no interest line of credit for a year. And basically all you do is you go to the website, you type in the amount that you're looking for. There's no impact on your credit score, and instantly there's a decision for you. And there's different payment options that you can pick from. So that's a really nice way of handling the CoolSculpting. And then Allergan also has a really nice program called Brilliant Distinctions. And what Brilliant Distinctions is a rewards program. So when you do different services that Allergan provides, like CoolSculpting, Botox, Juvederm, Voluma, if you buy Skin Medica products, all of those can get added into your Brilliant Distinctions accounts, and you'll actually earn points for that. So what will happen is when those points kind of ripen, we can redeem those in the clinic for more treatments. So you could use it for more CoolSculpting or a facial or a chemical peel or anything like that. And the CoolSculpting points really do add up nicely. Very commonly for a tummy, if we did like 8 treatments, you might end up with about $320 in rewards to use for future purposes. So if you'd like to come in for a consultation, it's really simple. You can just give the clinic a call. We are trying to be social distancing right now, so we do not have online scheduling activated at this point, just to try and minimize the amount of people in the clinic at any given time. But just give us a call at 608-274-2225. We'll find a convenient time for you to come in. You'll just be meeting with me in a private room, and we'll just talk about your health, history, make sure you're a good candidate for the procedure. We'll talk about your beauty goals, make sure CoolSculpting is a good fit for you. I'll explain the process and how it would work, and then we would customize a treatment plan for you and make sure that would work within your budget. Sometimes people like to do multiple areas. With CoolSculpting, we can treat chins, We can do tummies, we can do flanks, we can do backs, behind the bra, underneath the arms. We can do inner and outer thighs. There's a little area some people have underneath their booty called the banana roll. That's a really nice area to treat. I've even done inner knees. Sometimes that's a little bit thicker and problematic for boot season. So any of those areas work really great. And we would, again, just make a plan, tell you exactly how long you need to be here, exactly how long each treatment would take, and exactly how much it would cost. The consultations are free and absolutely no obligation. So if you have any interest at all in CoolSculpting, it's a wonderful treatment. I've been doing CoolSculpting for probably about 5 years. I was actually have gone to some advanced trainings. So I have been out to the CoolSculpting training site twice, and now considered a master CoolSculptor. And I love the treatment. I feel very comfortable recommending it for people. I really believe in the treatment. I've seen some really nice outcomes. People are very, very happy. It's comfortable, it's quick, it's easy, it's permanent. I really have nothing I can say that's bad about it. Have a little bit of health history intake just because it is a medical procedure and we want to make sure that there's no complications. Mm-hmm. And then I usually just bring them in my consultation room and we kind of explain the different, treatment options we have, kind of get a feel for what their expectations are and what their beauty goals are. Mm-hmm. And then we can customize a treatment plan based on that. So we might say, gosh, I really want to work on my abdomen, but maybe my arms and maybe my thighs. And we kind of prioritize and figure out what the budget allows and what the time allows, and work through those different areas and what would be the most effective place to start. And usually the consultation takes about 30 minutes. It's very low stress. Mm-hmm. We just kind of take a peek at the areas you want to work on. So be prepared to show us that, but you just saw mine. So I'm always happy to make you feel good about you can see mine. And it's no stress. There's no obligation, no commitment. Just, come in, find out about it, see if it's right for you. Usually we're just requesting that you call and make an appointment at this point in time because we're really trying to be social distancing and limit the number of people in the practice at any given time. So we haven't turned on online scheduling yet, just to kind of minimize the potential for too many people to be here at one time. But you come in, you probably won't encounter anybody in the waiting room, and then you'll immediately come into our consultation room, which is a private room, and you'll just be meeting with me. And we've been cleaning carefully. I've been wearing a mask. All of us have been wearing masks, sanitizing between clients. So we are very COVID compliant. We've taken the guidelines from the Dane County and the CDC to heart and have implemented them immediately upon reopening and have kept up the sanitation levels. Gosh, probably the number one spot is abdomen, I would say. That's probably everybody's go-to area to start, but thighs are great, inner thighs and outer thighs, and then there's a little kind of pooch underneath the booty that people have sometimes. That's called the banana roll. So that's a nice treatment protocol. Arms work out really nicely. They really do beautifully with CoolSculpting. Like we mentioned, chins are a really nice area. Also, behind the bra is a nice area, or in front of the bra line, or underneath the arm, just to kind of make those arms feel like they're not being pushed out so far. So oftentimes I'll do like under the arm and the arm itself to kind of minimize the wideness through the bra area. I have done little pockets on knees, like once in a while people will have a little volume on one side or the other. So pretty much any area that's pinchable and we can make the applicator fit. It seems to work on everybody. We've been using the treatment for probably about 5 years in the office, and we've done a lot of treatments, and I can count on one hand the people that weren't thrilled with their results. No, you don't. Right, and I can really attest to that with my weight gain post CoolSculpting. My shape is similar to what we achieved with the CoolSculpting, and I don't have any
large lumps or weird areas. I mean, I literally gained 20 pounds. Yeah, so when you get certified with CoolSculpting, I'm actually a chiropractor, which is a little bit odd. So I'm pretty used to touching people and positioning people, and I don't have any problems giving people massages. The main mechanics of CoolSculpting in-house, I feel like I've been training for that for the 25 years that I've been in practice. But to get trained for CoolSculpting, there was a webinar class that we had to go through, and we were tested online. And then we had someone come in and they did an in-service with us and watched us do the treatments here. And then once I kind of got my sea legs about me, I was lucky enough to get invited actually out to Virginia to the CoolSculpting training site. And I did a class out there, which was really wonderful. They did a really great job of training, and it was hands-on, and you got to actually touch people and mark people, and people that have been doing it for a long time gave you other suggestions and ideas because there's an art form to this and just different ways to think about doing treatment plans. And then I guess before COVID, just this last year, it feels so long ago, but I was lucky enough to get invited to the master's class. So I now have an MBA from CoolSculpting University.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so I was invited to that class, and that was much more exclusive. It was a much smaller class, and they really got into the nuts and bolts, and that was really exciting to be there too. So I am now officially a CoolSculpting master.
I'm just checking in with Gabby. I guess I can bring it over by your face so you can see her. And do you have anything to say about, can we see in there?
I can see in there. It feels as though someone is just putting a light ice pack on top of my back. And so that helps because it is actually soothing the area a little bit while focusing on that area that I want to reduce volume in.
So is it uncomfortable? Are you
It's not
okay?
uncomfortable at all. I probably could have taken a nap.
A lot of people do actually, yeah. A lot of people do.
Not uncomfortable at all.
Okay. So was it kind of what I had prepped you for? Like the first couple minutes, it's really cold, and then it just goes
Yeah, for the first 5 to 7 minutes, it was a little colder than usual, but no more cold than it would be to put a water bottle on your stomach. And then that numbed out. So right now, I can't feel any intensity or pressure. I just feel coolness, which is really good because it's always a little frightening to get something like this done,
Right,
and you just don't know how it's gonna feel. You don't know if you're gonna be uncomfortable the whole session. And like I said, Stacy, I could have taken a nap.
Nice. Yeah. Well, like I said, a lot of people really do.
Yeah.
One time, this was crazy. I had a lady, we were doing her entire back. So we were
Yeah.
doing 6 treatments on her back, and
Yeah.
she slept through the whole thing. I took the applicator off and moved it.
You're
There's
like,
a little
"Are you
massage.
awake?"
I'm like, girl, you are a champion sleeper. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm really happy about the fact that it isn't a lot of pressure, and there isn't a constant movement. It really is just cool.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you have about 15 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll take the applicator off, and we're gonna do a little massage in the area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you say that now.
It comes out.
But it's not. The massage just feels really weird because the area is so cold.
Okay.
So it just feels
Okay.
different than your typical massage. It's not bad,
Okay.
but it just feels really strange.
I would recommend it to anybody who, especially this area where it's at, because I think it's hard to grasp that entire area, as well as there's a lot of uncomfortable solutions to get rid of
Right.
that area, and this is not one of them.
Good. Yeah. So it's only 35 minutes per treatment. So you have about 15 minutes left,
Okay.
and then when there's about 2 minutes left, the machine will actually alert me, and I'll come on back in.
Sounds
Do you
good.
want anything? Do you want a magazine?
I'm good.
All right, well, I'll put this back over here. So really, there's not much left of Gabby's treatment. There's only 15 minutes left. And all we do at the end is take off the applicator and do a little bit of a massage. As you can see, the process is really easy. It's comfortable. You know, like we were talking in there, a lot of people do fall asleep. You're welcome to read a book, take a nap. You can bring a phone, a tablet. We have lots of movies. We have cable. We have Netflix.
Hulu, Disney Channel. So there's plenty of opportunities to be entertained too if you want to relax. And some people actually bring their laptop and pretend they're at work and work from home. So I don't recommend that. I recommend taking a little time for yourself, but you certainly can do that too. If you are at all interested in coming in for a free consultation, just give us a call. The phone number here is 608-274-2225. And like I said, it only takes about half an hour. And it's really very, very easy. So thanks so much for coming.